The story we're about to tell you is not one you would think could end well. For 26 years, two women hundreds of miles apart hoped, waited, and wondered about each other.
A mother searching for her baby girl, a daughter trying to overcome a troubled past, not sure what she might find.
Samantha Hayes shows us each woman's incredible journey on their paths that finally converge.
We go back to 1980 when there were no Amber Alerts, no organized systems to find children. Shawnette Davis believes her case was like many that go unreported. No mailers, no missing posters, no face on a milk carton. Finding her mother was up to her, and starting that search made her scared of who she might find.
Mama.
Yes, baby. I couldn't imagine losing my children. They are my world and my everything. And growing up the way that I did has taught me what not to do, and I think made me a better parent.
Shawnette Davis was too young to remember what it felt like to be held in her own mother's arms, because just a few months after these pictures were taken, the two were separated, and it's unclear exactly why that happened, but Shawnette believes it was against her mother's will, although she says that's not what she was told growing up.
I was told that my mother was a severe drug addict, and that as a baby she was extremely abusive to me.
Shawnette was raised by her mother's estranged boyfriend hundreds of miles away in Utah.
They didn't get along very well. As I remember, there was just a lot of anger when I was growing up.
Sometimes she felt that anger directed at her.
It wasn't my fault, and there wasn't anything that I could have done as a child to prevent it from happening. I just ran away from everything. I ran away from myself and everything and everyone that I ever knew. I turned to drugs and partying, and you know, I lost myself.
That is my favorite birthday.
Oh, yeah? And she did not know who she was. The answer to that, just a name.
This is everything that I had to find my mom right here. This is Julie's name, and there's my dad's name.
But Shawnette Davis does not know who that woman is on her birth certificate, and for years, she hasn't been sure if she even wants to.
Because of the lies that I was told as a child, you know, I could have, all these years, I could have looked for her at any time, and I never did because I wasn't ready to have another monster in my life, and I thought that that's what I was looking for.
Tonight, the next chapter in the story of two women separated for 26 years.
The daughter is grown up now, and as she overcomes a troubled past, starts the search for her mother. But she's not sure if her mother wants to be found.
Samantha Hayes traveled to Portland, Oregon to find this side of the story. Samantha.
Well, it turns out her mother, Julie Bray, has never forgotten about her. And although the two were only together for about 6 months, every memory of that time is still close to her heart.
She was 7 pounds 11 ounces and 21 inches long. She was a beautiful baby.
She remembers every detail of those first few months.
These are some of the outfits that she had when she was little. She wore this twice. As you can tell, it looks almost brand new.
But her little girl's first word, those first steps, are things Julie Bray does not know about because she wasn't there.
I missed all that. And there's no way to get that back.
She says her boyfriend at the time took the baby against her will. She turned to police for help.
After about 1.5 years, the chief of police came out one day and said, you need to stop coming here, you need to stop filing these reports, and you need to forget this person ever existed.
But she never forgot.
Well, I was a truck driver for 10 years. Used to go through Provo and Salt Lake all the time, and kind of suspected that he was in Utah because I knew he had family there. So I'd look around, I'd check the phone book.
Only one thing connected them.
I had tried everything I could to find her, and it wasn't happening, so I just figured she would look at her birth certificate, discover my name at some point, and she'd find me.
Am I playing?
So it would be up to Shawnette, who had only that piece of paper to go on.
That's the only thing I have from when I was a baby is my original birth certificate. It's hammered and falling apart and all taped together.
So first, she tried to find Julie on her own, but every turn was a dead end.
I tried every resource. Social Security office, ORS, everything.
And everyone turned her down, except for a pair of investigators who felt there was just something about this case and something special about Shawnette.
That added an emotional element for me.
You could tell that she was hurting, and I knew that I had the ability to stop that hurt.
Tonight, the emotional conclusion to a story that began 26 years ago when a mother and her baby girl were separated.
Separately, they searched for each other, wondered about each other, worried whether they'd ever meet. They did at our airport, and Samantha Hayes was there.
Well, Nadine, that little girl is all grown up now with her own children. She has always felt the absence of her mother, though. And for so many years, she has anticipated this moment. She has wondered what it would be like and if her mother would feel the same way.
There were moments where I thought, who am I going to find? What kind of person is she going to be? Is she even going to want to talk to me?
They are questions a child should never have to ask.
I used to watch people walk around and used to wonder, you know, is that my mom?
Soon, Shawnette Davis won't have to wonder anymore.
There was just something about her that made her more special. Just, you could hear it in her voice.
Private investigators Jill Ekstrom and Van Canaan were so moved by this story, they worked for free.
I had a name to start with, and that's a challenge because women change their names, especially over that time frame.
I started calling every phone number I could find on the list and crossing them off.
It took time and effort from one more volunteer, a private investigator 800 miles away here in Carlton, Oregon. He made the final connection.
I agreed to do this. I agreed to fit this in among my other paying clients.
Mike Kiger found the address and was the first one to tell Julie Bray the news.
I indicated to her that I do represent your daughter, and I'm letting you know that she has been looking for you. It did take her breath away. She was very, all of a sudden it was quiet on the end of the line.
And that's when my heart just leaped up in my throat, and I was just going, oh my God, it's her, it's her, it's her, and I couldn't sleep, and I was so excited.
There's no amount of money that can pay for that.
It was just amazing to talk to her.
Oh, there's going to be tons of tears and hugging and not letting go.
So finally, after 26 years, mother and daughter will be able to answer all those questions. Eyewitness News flew Julie to Salt Lake City to meet Shawnette.
To see my mother and look at her and wonder, you know, is that my nose? Are those my ears?
And I'll get to see her as a woman and watch her blossom as a mother.
That first hug. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like or what it's going to feel like.
My nose. It's my nose.
Shawnette and Julie spent the weekend getting to know each other. They now talk several times a week, and Shawnette is planning on moving her family to the Portland area when the right time comes.